Hello friends, welcome all of you. In previous video, we discussed the points shape of meniscus and shape of liquid drops. So today we discuss the new point of this topic. So let's start today's lecture. First we see today's point of discussion. Today's first point of discussion, it is effect of impurities and temperature on surface tension, and second point is the formation of liquid drop and soap bubble. Today's 2 points we discuss in detail: effect of impurities and temperature on surface tension and formation of liquid drop and soap bubble. So let's start. First we see impurities, basically having two categories. First it is the soluble impurity and second one it is the insoluble impurity. Insoluble impurity, the substance dissolved in the water easily, and in insoluble impurity, substances cannot dissolve in a solvent. Remember once again, insoluble impurity, substances that get easily dissolved in a solvent, and in insoluble impurity, substances cannot dissolve in a solvent. So let's see one by one. First, soluble impurity. The soluble substance, that means for example sodium chloride or simply salt, is dissolved in pure water. The surface tension of water increases. Remember, when soluble substance dissolved in pure water, surface tension of water increases. Sparingly soluble substance, here the word is the sparingly soluble, that means the materials which have lower the solubility, it is called as the sparingly soluble substance. For example, phenol or any detergent, when it is mixed with water, surface tension of water decreases. So let's see insoluble impurity. When insoluble impurity is added into pure water, surface tension of water decreases. Insoluble impurity added in water, surface tension decreases. Soluble impurity added in pure water, surface tension increases. Remember, these points are very important. So let's see the next point. Next effect, it is the effect of temperature on surface tension. As temperature increases, surface tension of the water decreases. Temperature increases, surface tension decreases. But in case of molten copper or molten cadmium, surface tension increases with its increase in the temperature. Remember, in case of molten copper or molten cadmium, surface tension increases with increase in the temperature. So let's see another definition. It is the critical temperature. That means temperature at which surface tension of liquid becomes zero, it is called as the critical temperature of liquid. When temperature at which surface tension of the liquid is zero, it is called as the critical temperature. So these are the two main effects we have seen in detail. So let's see the next point. Next point is the excess pressure across the free surface of a liquid. Remember, excess pressure, the word it is used, it is excess pressure where on the free surface of the liquid. So let's see, as we seen in the previous lecture, every molecule on the liquid surface experiences forces due to surface tension which are tangential, that means perpendicular to the liquid surface at rest. The direction of the resultant force of surface tension acting on a molecule on the liquid surface depends upon the shape of that liquid surface. That means shape, that means it may be plane liquid surface, concave liquid surface, or it may be convex liquid surface. So thus this contributes in deciding the pressure at a point just below the surface of the liquid. Remember, this force is contributing deciding the pressure at a point just below the surface of the liquid. So there are three liquid surfaces. First, it is the plain liquid surface. Second, it is the convex liquid surface. And the third is the concave liquid surface. Plain liquid surface, convex liquid surface, and concave liquid surface. So let's see one by one image of this first. Here a pure glass containing the water. See here, angle of quantity is the 0. The surface looks like in this way. This one is the pure water completely wets the solid, plain solid liquid surface. Let's see the second. Second is the mercury filled in a glass tube. Convex liquid surface, because angle of quantity is obtuse, that means greater than the 90 degree. Liquid surface looks like in this way. This one is the mercury. Angle of quantity is the obtuse. It does not wet the solid surface. Let's see the third surface of the liquid. This one is the kerosene, and the liquid surface looks like in this way. Concave meniscus, having the angle of contact, it is less than the 90 degree. That means acute angle of the contact. This one is the plain liquid surface. Once again we see plain liquid surface. Example, it is the pure water. Concave liquid surface. Example, it is the kerosene. And convex liquid surface. Example, it is the mercury. Here the two molecules see in each and every figure. Here are the two molecules. Molecule A, molecule B, for the plane, for the concave, and for the convex. The molecule A, see in the figure. Molecule A is just above the liquid surface, and molecule B, it is just below but inside the liquid surface. So here the level difference between A and B, it is almost 0. In all the three figures, pressure at the point A, see in the figure, in all the figures, pressure at the point A, it is the atmospheric pressure. So let's see the explanation of this figure one by one. First one is the plain liquid surface. Diagram once again, see plain liquid surface, molecules A, which is outside the liquid surface, molecule B, it is the inside the liquid surface, and F of T, these are the force due to the surface tension. So resultant force due to surface tension, that means F of T on the molecule B, it is the 0. So here F of A decides the pressure, which is nothing but the atmospheric pressure. So here pressure at A and B, it is the same. So let's see the convex liquid surface. See the diagram here once again. Here first one, it is the pressure at point B and pressure at point A. Pressure at point B, which is acts vertically downward, and pressure at point A, which is also acts vertically downward. So here resultant force due to surface tension F of T on the molecule B is vertically downwards, which adds up to the downward force, that means F of A. So this develops, because addition, this develops the greater pressure at point B. So from this, pressure on concave side, it is greater than the pressure on the convex side. That means here inside pressure, it is greater than the outside pressure. Remember this sentence, it is very important. Pressure on concave side, it is greater than pressure on the convex side. So this one is the second type of the liquid surface, that is convex liquid surface. So let's see the third type. Third is the concave liquid surface. Once again, see this diagram here. Molecule A outside the liquid surface, molecule B it is the inside the liquid surface. First, force due to surface tension F of T on the molecule B is vertically in the upward direction, and force F of A due to atmospheric pressure it acts in the downward direction. So here F of A and F of T acts in the opposite direction. So the net downward force is responsible for the pressure at B. It is less than the F of A. So this develops the lesser pressure, that means less quantity of pressure at point B, which is inside the liquid. So here outside pressure it is greater than the inside pressure. So from this, pressure on the concave side is greater than the pressure on the convex side. We are considering the liquid surface type, concave liquid surface. Pressure on the concave side it is greater than the pressure on the convex side. So let's see the next point of the today's lecture. It is the formation of drops and bubbles. As we know that liquid drops and small bubbles are spherical in shape because forces of surface tension dominate the gravitational force. So bubble or drops does not collapse because resultant of the external pressure and force of surface tension is smaller than pressure inside a bubble or liquid drop. So here basically we derive one expression. First one it is for the liquid drop and second one it is for the soap bubble. So let's see for the first liquid drop expression. See this figure carefully. In this figure, a spherical drop having the radius it is the small r, Pi it is the pressure inside the drop, and Po it is the pressure outside the drop. As the drop is spherical in the shape, inside pressure it is greater than the outside pressure. So here delta R it is the change in the radius. So excess pressure inside the drop it is the Pi minus Po. Remember, excess pressure inside the drop it is Pi minus P0. So radius of the drop increases from R to R plus delta R. This one is the addition. Radius increases from R to R plus delta R. So from this we derive one expression. First we know that it is the sphere. So initial surface area of the drop, that means for inner side A1 is equals to 4 pi R square. Similarly, for the final surface area of the drop, it is A2, that means 4 pi. Here R becomes the value, it is the R plus delta R. So putting the value in the equation, we have to get A2 is equals to 4 pi into the bracket R plus delta R into the bracket square. So here we use the basic mathematics, that means A plus B bracket square, which is equals to A square plus twice AB plus B square. So solving this bracket, we have to get A2 is equals to 4 pi as it is A square, that means R square, plus twice AB, that means 2R into the delta R, plus B square, that means delta R square. So multiplying 4 pi into the each term of this bracket, we have to get A2 is equals to 4 pi into the R square, that means 4 pi R square, 4 pi into 2R delta, that means 8 pi R into the delta R, plus 4 pi into the delta R square. As seen the figure, delta R it is the very small, so delta R square, this term can be neglected. So we have to get A2 is equals to simply 4 pi R square plus delta pi R, 8 pi R into the delta R. So from this we have to calculate the increase in the surface area of the drop, that means A2 minus this A1. We have to get the simple equation, that means increase in surface area D of A, which is equals to A2 minus A1. Here 4 pi R square and 4 pi R square cancel. We have to get simply 8 pi R into the delta R. This one is the equation number 1. Remember, increase in area d of A, which is equals to 8 pi r into the delta r. So for the work done in increasing the surface area, it is stored in the form of the surface energy. We know that the relation between the surface tension and the surface energy, it is dW is equals to T times dA. Putting the values of the dA in the equation, we have to get dW is equals to T times 8 pi r into the delta r. This one is the equation number 2. As we know that work done is equals to force into the displacement. So here we have to write the equation number 3rd. It is the dW is equals to F into the delta R. So from this we have to calculate the equation for the force. Before this we have to know that pressure formula, it is the pressure is equals to force divided by the area. So outside taking this force term, we have to get pressure into the area. That means excess force is equals to excess pressure into the surface area. So excess pressure, having the formula or having the equation we have seen in the last slide, it is the Pi minus Po. So putting the value in the equation, we get excess force, that means F is equals to excess pressure, that means Pi minus Po, into the surface area, that means 4 pi r square. This one is the equation number 4. So this formula of the F, or this value of the F, putting in this equation, we have to get dW is equals to F having the value Pi minus Po into the 4 pi r square, and delta R it is as it is. So dW equation Pi minus P0 4 pi r square into the delta R, equation number 5. So see the equations carefully. This one is the equation number 2, that means formula for the dW, and this one is the equation number 5, formula for the dW. T 8 pi r delta r and Pi minus P0 into the 4 pi r square into the delta r. So equating equation number 2 and equation number 5, we get these two equations equating, that means T is equals to 8 pi r into delta r is equals to Pi minus Po 4 pi r square into the delta r. So outside taking this excess pressure term and solving this simple calculation, we have to get Pi minus Po is equals to twice T divided by the small r. So this equation gives excess pressure inside a drop, and this is called as the Laplace's law of the spherical membrane for the water droplet or for the pure single drop. Remember this equation for the pure water drop, Pi minus Po is equals to twice T divided by the small r. So similarly for this we have to calculate for the soap bubble. For the soap bubble, see this image, this one is the soap image. As we know that there are two free surfaces in contact with the air, inner and the outer surface. So for this, increase in the area, having the equation, that is dA is equals to, here remember 2 times 8 pi r into the delta r. So similar mathematics is used here. We have to get dW equation Pi minus Po 4 pi r square into the delta r, and T is equal T into the 16 pi r into the delta r. So similarly here outside taking Pi minus P0 term, we have to get the equation 4T divided by the small r. For the soap bubble, Laplace's law of the spherical membrane, it is Pi minus P0 is equals to 4T divided by the small r. And for the liquid drop, value it is the Pi minus Po is equals to twice T divided by the r. For soap bubble, 4T divided by the r. So from this, friends, we have calculated or we solve one example for 1 mark. Example, it is an air bubble of radius 0.2 millimeter is situated just below the water surface. Calculate the gauge pressure Given it is the surface tension of water, it is 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton per meter. Gauge pressure means Pi minus Po. So first given data, it is the radius, that means 0.2 millimeter. Converted into the SI form, it is R is equals to 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter, and surface tension of water given it is the T is equals to 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton per meter. So here we have to find out the gauge pressure, that means Pi minus Po. We know that for the formula it is Pi minus Po is equals to twice T divided by the capital R. So putting the value in the equation, that means R and T in this equation, we have to get formula. First we have to write Pi minus Po is equals to twice T divided by the capital R. So which is equals to 2 into the bracket T having the value 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 divided by the R having the value 2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So without using log table, we have to solve this equation. For the 1 mark having the answer, it is gauge pressure is equals to 7.2 into 10 raised to plus 2, that means 720 Pascal. So this one is the for the 1 marks example. So friends, today's highlight point of the lecture it is. Remember this highlight point, it is very useful for your various entrance exam. So here energy is always required to split a drop of liquid into number of small drops, because surface area of the small drops formed is greater than surface area of the original single drop. This one is the highlight point. Remember, it is very important for your various entrance exam. So today we discuss the various interesting point of this topic. In the next video we see the another important point of this topic.